Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Tenacious V's podcast. Every other week, my best friend Nona and I share some drinks and talk about our sisters through the centuries. This week, we talk about one of baseball's most famous women to ever play the sport, Jackie Mitchell. She was known for striking out Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig and has been a testament for young women athletes throughout the years. We really hope you guys enjoy the episode about her. Thanks.
Friends, and welcome back to another episode of Tenacious V's podcast. This week we're going to be talking about Vern Beatrice Jackie Mitchell Gilbert. I know, it's quite a name.
It is, but for short, Jackie Mitchell.
Yeah, that's what we're going to be referring to her as from here on out. She was born August 29th of 1913 in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And her parents were Vern Wall Mitchell and Dr. Joseph Mitchell. Jackie was involved in some baseball, as we know.
Yeah, so Jackie, she was known for a real big feat as like a female, but we're gonna kind of dive in a little bit to her childhood. As soon as she could walk, her dad would actually take her to the baseball diamond to play. So pitching kind of came as a second nature to her. And the really cool thing about Jackie was she was considered a southpaw. And she had this crazy pitch that she would bring her arm out and throw it like that.
Okay.
And so it had a crazy curve on it the way that she did it. So her dad showed her the ropes. However, her neighbor Dazzy Vance, who was a Hall of Fame pitcher, taught her to actually pitch in his style, and that's what made her such a crazy left-handed pitcher.
Yeah, he had a drop curve ball or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I am not a baseball guy, to my dad's chagrin. No, wait, not chagrin. That's the wrong word. Dismay.
Dismay.
There we go. Anyways. So at the age of 17, Jackie was playing for the Inglettes, which was a women's team in Chattanooga, just a chillin', hanging out around town team kind of thing. And she attended a baseball camp in Atlanta, Georgia. And while she was there, Joe Ingle, the owner and president of the Chattanooga Lookouts, took an interest in her, which is pretty cool, you know.
I mean, especially for being such a young female in a game
absolutely.
That's only men.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she wasn't the first woman to play in, major or minor
organized baseball.
Organized baseball, but
yeah.
She's probably the most famous.
At this time, absolutely. Well, I mean, if you're into baseball, I'm sure you know women baseball players.
Yeah.
But
it was Lizzie Arlington who was the first woman. That was back in 1898, so probably 40 years, 50 years before her. No, maybe not 30. God, math again. Why does this happen every time?
Well, it was 15 years before she was born, so 32 years before this.
Okay.
But, so Joe Ingle was this guy, and he owned the Chattanooga Lookouts, and he was just so this is in the middle of the Great Depression, so, people are really, really poor, there's low attendance to everything, because people can't afford it, so he was all about these huge publicity stunts, just crazy off-the-wall, that doesn't belong in baseball moments.
Just to get people to try to show up.
Yeah, bringing in those crowds was his thing. So, sorry.
So one of the, in his mind, he was thinking, what can I do to get a lot of people to come out to the games? So that's why he took such an interest in Jackie as well, as he was I'm going to bring her out and hopefully get some people to come check it out. So they had an exhibition game against the New York Yankees, which was going to be a really big deal because not only is, that going to bring a crowd out to Chattanooga where there's not a professional baseball team such as the Yankees, and then also kind of I don't know, you root for your little hometown, I guess.
Yeah.
And so he was well, what better to draw as many people out to this game as let's bring out a female pitcher.
A teenage female pitcher.
Yeah.
And do you guys know who was on the Yankees in this year? The year of 1931?
So they're considered the it's like the Marauders or something, like the Three Marauders. Fuck, I wish I could remember what their nicknames were, but
One of them's the Sultan of Swing. The other one is the Iron something. I honestly don't even know who the third person is.
well, Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig were there,
Indeed.
which are, I mean, you guys even know their names. Even we know their names. We're not big baseball fans.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everyone's heard of Babe Ruth. Like, if you've seen The Sandlot.
The Sultan of Swing. The
This
Great Bambino.
Baby Ruth lady.
The Great Bambino.
I feel that kid so much. I am Smalls.
You're Smalls. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but it's, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Aw. He was cool. I don't actually like The Sandlot very much.
What?
I honestly just really, really hate the fat kid.
Oh my gosh, why?
He's
Ham?
so annoying. Yeah. Fuck Ham. I'm gonna say it.
You're killing me, Smalls.
The whole thing, like, it's literally the scene in the treehouse where he's teaching him how to make a s'more, and he's like, so you get the mallow. Like, no, don't call it a mallow. I don't like it.
So you get the marsh. Is that better for you, Nona?
No. Just call it a marshmallow. Like, it's not that hard of a word.
So you take them out.
And then he also calls it a gram.
Yeah.
Just lazy. Just because you're fat doesn't mean you have to be lazy.
That kid he thought he was the sexiest.
Oh, he thought he was so cool.
Yeah. Anyways, somebody who really was cool is Jackie Mitchell.
Jackie Mitchell's the shit.
So she shows up to
Speaking of people who were killing it, it works this time.
It works this time. Oh my goodness. So Jackie Mitchell shows up to this game, and she had just signed a contract like the day before, 2 days before.
She was signed on March 25th, 1931, and they played on April 2nd.
Okay.
The game was supposed to be on the 1st, but it actually got rained out, so they had to play the 2nd.
Right. So she's been signed for a week. Is what basically what we're getting at. She doesn't start, but in the first inning, the first batter, so the Yankees were batting.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up getting a double, and so
a double and a single.
A double and a single. The first pitcher did. So they were like, let's do it. It's about that time. So they pull up the first pitcher, and they put in Jackie Mitchell. And who's the first person up to bat when she gets up there?
Babe motherfucking Ruth.
Baby Ruth! So Jackie pitches against Babe, and so both Babe and Lou Gehrig were left-handed batters, and she's a left-handed pitcher, so she actually had an advantage because of that. She throws the first pitch, it's a ball, and then it was swing and a miss, and then she literally pitched it, and he just watched it fly by. After the second strike and before he was struck out, he actually asked the umpire to look at the ball and make sure that it wasn't a cheater's ball.
Yeah, he had him inspect it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Okay, there are so many ball regulations now. I think every single pitch is a new ball.
For the most part, I think that the average baseball lasts 3 pitches.
There's up to 500 balls in a game. Average, I think, is 300
nuts.
balls a game.
That is nuts.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, strikes Babe Ruth out. Looking.
Amazing. In 4 pitches. Crazy. So Babe Ruth screams at the top of his lungs before, after throwing his bat away really dramatically. And his teammates had, like, he was just screaming at the just, "Ah, girl could never pitch me out. There's something wrong. There's something fishy.
This is some fucking bullshit.
See, there's something fishy going on." I don't think he was a 20s gangster.
See? No, but he was furious and yelled at the umpire and basically was like, he was afraid it was gonna crush his, reputation that a chick struck him out.
But yeah, his teammates actually had to pull him away in his rage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. How fragile do you have to be?
Do you want to hear something really funny that Jackie did before the game?
What?
So before this game, like, newspapers had headlines and stuff, and one of them, they're really messed up. So this is a precursor to what she did.
Okay.
So one of them is, "The curves won't be all on the ball when pretty Jackie Mitchell takes the mound."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then another one was, "Has a swell change of pace and swings a mean lipstick." And it was a picture of Jackie Mitchell. So before the game, she allegedly brought out
Allegedly.
a mirror and powdered her nose for the photographer.
Oh,
like,
I saw that picture.
So awesome.
Well, and I mean, Jackie's pretty, but she's not like a Stone Cold Fox by any means.
She's not like a babe.
No, and when she was playing, she's wearing like the really like
she
not
wore
flattering,
extra baggy uniforms.
like not flattering. She had her hair tucked into her hat.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like very nondescript. Like honestly, if you like put her next to a bunch of dudes, she'd probably look just like one of the dudes.
Oh yeah, you probably wouldn't even be able to notice. But yeah, I just thought that was really funny.
So after Babe Ruth, she actually strikes out Lou Gehrig too, which is known as like the second best baseball player of the time.
They actually tied for the amount of home runs that year.
Okay, so they were equally as good, but regardless, she struck out two of the best baseball players in history simultaneously.
In a row, like first pitches ever in a professional game, as the first woman ever in Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm. Playing against a major league team, it was an exhibition match, so it wasn't like legit exhibition.
Well, no, she was signed to a Major League Baseball team, so this was like, and they were playing each other. So.
Yeah. But either way, super badass. And so naturally, what does everybody do? They freak the fuck out. I mean, at the time, she had a standing ovation from all the fans. They were so stoked that she struck them both out. But after the fact, she got a lot of backlash for it. She lost her baseball contract, 3 days later?
I think so. Yeah, just a few days later.
But she ends up losing her contract because the manager was like...
The baseball commissioner
was like, this is an abomination. Women are too fragile to play baseball.
Yeah, it was too strenuous for women.
And then Babe Ruth, what he said...
Oh my god.
You want to read it?
Yeah. So he said... Can I read it in no, I don't know what his voice sounds like.
Well, basically, when it interviewed the next day, hey, you got struck out by a chick. What do you think about that?
He was like, "I don't know what's going to happen if they let women play baseball. Of course they will never make it good. Why? Because they're too delicate. It would kill them to play ball every day."
Yeah, I think that was just, again, his fragile little ego being crushed by a girl who just wasn't about it.
Girl, too. She was literally 17 when she struck them out.
Yeah. Well, so after that, she ends up, finding another team to play with, but every team that wanted to sign her, it was all just a circus act. One wanted her to, play on the back of a donkey. One wanted to, it was just more so, she was,
yeah.
Looked at it as a...
Well, and it was weird because at this time, a lot of baseball was very gimmicky and just, eccentric. There was one team whose gimmick was card tricks.
On the baseball field?
On the baseball field. So, it was just a lot of really weird stuff, and a lot of the teams didn't even, really play baseball, and they weren't good if they did. But yeah, so she joined this team, and they were called the House of David team, and their thing was long hair and beards. And sometimes on tour she would wear a fake beard for the publicity. But so she actually, I heard that she retired at age 23 in 1937 because that team wanted her to ride on a donkey, and
Oh, it
she
was that
wouldn't
team.
do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just knew that it got really gimmicky. Like, people didn't see her and take her seriously. It was just like, oh, the girl that struck out Babe Ruth.
Yeah, like
watch
it was,
her ride a donkey.
It was all just about the showmanship and stuff like that. It wasn't about the game. It wasn't about the playing or the talent.
Well, and during the Depression, all these owners of these baseball teams were finding everything they could to get the money and get people in the stands because, I mean, everyone was poor.
Yeah.
So what better headline of your baseball stadium than come see the girl that struck out Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth and what?
Google says that Joe DiMaggio of the New York Yankees is one of the best players of all time from the 1930s.
Oh yeah, Joe DiMaggio.
I mean, yeah, I knew that name too.
So the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League formed in 1943, so she would have been fairly older, but she refused to come back and play. Everybody wanted her, like, we're finally doing it, girls only, come back and play with us, and she didn't want to. So after she retired at 23, she actually went to go work with her dad's optometry
Yeah.
place. Work? What am I thinking of?
Office, optometry.
Optometry office. Yes. Which I think is so cool because she was said to be able to make a pitch land exactly where she wanted. So it's like her vision was so good. I don't know.
That's
like,
really cool. Yeah, that's
my head,
awesome.
I just made that little analogy, like, wow, she had such good baseball vision, and then she went to go help with eyeballs.
Oh, yeah, that is really cool. I like that. I saw that after the All American Girls Professional Baseball League was formed, they all played for a while, but as of so they started in 1943 and played until 1952, and then from 52 up until 1992, women were actually banned from playing baseball, organized baseball.
Right outside of just like a fun league with friends and stuff.
Yeah, but Carrie, I believe it's Schuler, was signed by the White Sox.
Carrie Schuler was signed, um, kind of like made this shift, and I want to say it was sometime in like the late 90s. The only little league player to ever strike out throughout, like, to get like a clean slate throughout the whole game was a girl. So,
That's so cool.
yeah.
Wow.
So kind of like paved the way for somebody like that to jump in, I guess.
How cool. The next Jackie Mitchell.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, did you know that 10 years before it became all right for women to play baseball again, Jackie Mitchell was officially invited to throw the ceremonial first pitch for the Chattanooga Lookouts in their first game?
Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool. And she had to have been like pretty old in her 70s because she passed away at 78. She was 78 years old in 1987, I believe. Something.
Yeah.
Math and stuff.
January 7th, 1987 is when she passed away.
So 5 years later.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's cool that she still held that level of respect. Come out and pitch
Yeah.
an opening game.
They gave her that little shout out, which was pretty cool.
I mean, it's just a little too late, just like all the ladies that we kind of talk about,
Yeah.
Like, what if she was able to pitch in the big leagues, like, say, nowadays? I mean, do you think she would do good?
Oh, I bet she would have crushed it. I bet she would have, like, we couldn't get her on the Rockies. That's all I'm saying.
No, probably not. The Rockies suck.
They were kind of good this year.
Yeah. The Broncos play tonight.
Oh boy.
I'm pretty excited.
not really a sports guy. I don't watch the balls.
Right.
Baseball games are fun though. Like, it's a pretty cool all-American pastime, and like,
Yeah, just go to get a hot dog and a beer and just walk
yeah,
around the stadium.
yeah. I think it's really cool that like even through all the depressions, like baseball games are still something that people attend, and sports are still things that are important to people, you know? Like, it does bring people together in a big sense, you know? Especially like
Yeah.
father son, you know, things and
It's like a growing thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Like it's where you like get to spend quality time with your family.
Yeah.
You know. Hey, I'll take you out to the game. Hey, we'll play a catch. You know, we'll have a
Yeah.
catch.
We'll have a catch.
um.
Like I've
Yeah.
had a blast going to the Rapids games with you. That's been super fun.
Yeah. Got a little too drunk last time.
Oh my god.
But no, it's really cool because actually something I learned in my Parks and Recreation classes that in the Great Depression, a lot of people weren't willing to give up recreation. You know, they would still a lot like they're poor as shit, but still would
Mhm.
allot a couple bucks to take their kids to the movies or the baseball game or um, FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He made a huge push for municipal and state forests and state parks just so that way people had a free form of recreation.
I wish they were still free.
Yeah, some are, some most aren't.
Yeah. There's still national forest lands.
It's a lot of national forests here in Colorado.
Mhm.
It's really nice. I mean, in national forests, you can go dispersed camping. So just as long as you're not harming the natural environment there, you can actually pitch a tent anywhere in national forest as long as it's not private property.
For up to 14 days.
Hmm.
And then as long as you just keep moving, you can literally do that forever.
Yeah, you can just live in the Rocky. I mean, it gets cold as shit in the winter, but
Well, no, but you can go like if you have a car, just go all through the 50 United States and just national forest camp.
yep, 2 weeks at a time. You
Mhm.
totally could.
Would I mean do like a month in each state or something.
Yeah, it sounds like a blast.
That sounds so much fun. We appreciate you guys for spending some quality time with us. We hope it was just as much fun as a ball game, and we hope you enjoyed learning all about Jackie Mitchell.
And root for the
Rockies. Hey, you can't go to a Rockies game and not say Rockies, Julia.
I mean, I bet I could. And it's root for the
Lookouts.
lookouts.
If they don't win, it's a shame.
So we thank you for listening to our podcast and hope you have a great day.
Thanks for tuning in. If you liked that episode, please give us a follow. We are Tenacious V's podcast on Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Podbean, and YouTube. You can also subscribe to us on Patreon, where you get exclusive extras from Nona and I, and a recipe card for a food or drink that's inspired by our Tenacious Lady of the Week. This episode was spoken, produced, and recorded by Julia and Nona. All musical contributions were done by Denver rapper Staple Milk. Come back soon for some more tales of bodacious babes throughout the centuries.